I've thought for a while how I could start this channel, and I think it just is appropriate to do a top 10 BTS songs. And it's sort of inspired because I saw Billboard make a list of their top 50, and it had different music critics. I think picking songs, talking about why they liked them, and it was a good list. I liked their list. I'll link it below, just because why not? But basically, this is going to be a top 10 title tracks, because then I can split it up and do a top 10 side tracks later, which is really hard because I was listing them, and I've got like 25, and I can't condense it just yet because it's just so hard. It's just so fucking hard. There's so many good songs, but surprisingly for the top 10 title tracks, it was kind of easy. That's not to say anything on this list I don't like. It's just how I feel. This list changes a lot. It has changed since I first wrote it down back last year. So it hasn't even been 6 to 7 months since when I last wrote it down somewhere, and the list is just completely changed. But basically, I'm not a music critic, you know. I just judge this stuff on how often I can re-listen to it and still thoroughly enjoy it. Just how it feels, how I feel listening to it. Basically that. So these are just my opinions. Goes without saying, really, but it's the internet. Anyway, I think I'll just get into it, right? My number 10 is War of Hormone, or War of Hormones. It's funny because I, like a lot of people, weren't super into BTS before the Most Beautiful Moment in Life stuff, that sort of concept really pulled me in, and that's where I really started to like BTS. But the older stuff has some really good songs too. I especially like the Dark and Wild shit the most, I think. I'm really putting War of Hormone here because it's like symbolic. It's like all that sort of Most Beautiful Moment in Life stuff. Because to be honest, War of Hormone and Boy in Love especially, I like Tide. It was really hard to like choose one or the other. Danger not so much. But yeah, War of Hormone, I think I just like that extra bit more. And BTS used to do that thing where they had like Jungkook used to rap, and I loved it. I'm actually really glad he sings way more now because he just has the most beautiful voice. But he can sing, he can rap, he can dance. What can't he do? Jungkook's the man. But yeah, I just think it's funny listening to him rap back then, and if he did it now, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think he's just perfect as a singer now, so he doesn't really need to anymore. But yeah, it was that special time in BTS's life where Jungkook used to rap, so that's always really interesting to me. Number 9 is DNA, which it's not nowhere near a bad track. It's just not the best. I think it's perfect for me putting it at number 9. It sits perfectly there. It's fun. It's catchy. I like the music video a lot. I'm trying to judge it based on songs, but maybe music videos come into play every now and again. Who knows? I just really like. I like that. It was the first sort of thing they did with this new concept, this new direction after Blood, Sweat and Tears and Spring Day and all that. You kind of got this, and it was just like, it's good to see where they're going. They're really improving musically, dividing up the lines better, I would say, especially with the latest comeback. It's really good. But I like DNA. It's just not right up there. Number 8 is Dope. Dope. Oh man, okay. Here's the thing with these. Some of the newer songs, it's harder to rank them. It takes time for me to gauge where I would put something. Just because time can be such a big factor. Like, I might get sick of a song, or one might grow on me. And Dope was one that definitely grew on me as time got on, to where I just love it so much now. And I still play it a lot. It's such a hype song. I didn't used to like it. I don't know, I didn't like the beat, or the break. I didn't like the break, especially the chorus break. Yeah, I just didn't like the instrumental, but the verses in between that, and the rapping especially, was just really cool, and I think it's just elevated it over time. And I mean, it's got an incredible dance, doesn't it? I mean, everyone loves the dance for Dope. Number 7 is Fake Love, which is the most recent one, and it's going to be funny to see where this lands, in a number of months, or even pushing years, because it's just, at the time, I was just like, this is so fucking cool, this is like one of my favourite ones, and then, I listened to it probably a bit too much, and it kind of was like, I got that thing where you play a song too much and you just get a little sick of it. So, I mean, it's such a good comeback track, and I really, really did love it. And the visuals were just, and the dance was good, and I really like that song. I really do. It just fits right at 7. Like, if I had it above that, if I had above any of these other ones, I would feel like a disservice, because the other ones have just been here for so long, and I've just played them so much. They just, they're awesome, these other ones. It's hard to rank these, like I said, because, it's just, it's going to change a lot, but that's where I put Fake Love at number 7. It's just a great song. Number 6 is Run. Again, I had my problems with Run. Okay, when I first heard it, it's basically because when you hear my number 1, Run was heavily overshadowed by my number 1 choice, as I think a lot of BTS discography was. But it's just really, Run was like this kind of love-hate thing. I would actually play it when I go running, which is funny. But other than that, I didn't listen to it outside of that too often. But, it was actually the Japanese version. I listened to that again, I was like, holy fuck, this is so good in Japanese. What? I don't understand why I like it more in Japanese. But then I went back and listened to it in Korean, the original. It's just beautiful. It's the music they were making in that little era, that those the most beautiful moment in life, is just like, that's my shit. That's when I really got into BTS, and I just love all the music that come out of there, and it's just so good. So Run fits into that perfect, with that sound, that concept, that style, and the music video. Oh my god, it's probably my favorite BTS music video, and it's like, it's got a lot of views, but it's still one of the more underseen music videos. It's awesome. I think it's probably still my favorite, just because I just love the style of it. But, the song is really good, and I do like it, and I do listen to it a lot, especially now. Like, that was one of the ones, wasn't as high on my list beforehand, but it's just sort of recently come up because I've been listening to it more, and it's just stuck with me. So good. Number 5 is Blood, Sweat and Tears, which is maybe a lot of people's first introduction to BTS. As they keep getting bigger and progressing, I think more people are going to see their newer stuff and not revisit their older stuff as much, unless they like really, really get into BTS. But Blood, Sweat and Tears, I mean, it's a pretty awesome song to start on if that's the song that got you into it. I think this was just them really reaching a point where, I don't know, they were just getting way bigger as artists, and it really just was that extra step up musically. I mean, it's got the tropical house vibe going on, and it's just got the awesome verses, and you know, it's I liked it. You know, I didn't really like the chorus as much at first, but again, I love it now. So it's such a good song. Every time it comes on, it gets me hyped. So I think 5 is the perfect spot to put it for now anyway. Number 4 is Young Forever, which, I mean, basically I counted title tracks as the songs that had music videos. Because, I mean, this is sort of a title track of their completion album. But it's really, if you want to count it or not, I count it. So that's why it's at number 4. Because it's just such a beautiful song. It really is. I can't really describe it any other way. It's short. It's like a shorter song, which makes me kind of sad, but it's just perfect. It has such a feeling to it. It really does. So I put that number 4. As much as I like the hyped songs, and I'm a guy who gets really into the ciphers, and all the rapping and stuff, but just to have these really sweet, really emotionally powerful songs, I think that's where I really love BTS's stuff, and it sort of is, it really showcases them above other groups in the genre. So number 3 is Save Me. Save Me is just, wow, this was the one where, you know, I was into BTS because of my number 1 song when I first heard it. It was like, okay, I'm into BTS now. And then Save Me come in, and it was like, okay, I'm like fully in. They are like a biased group now. Because I'm not a super huge fan of like the instrumental choruses. I love it when BTS sings their choruses more. But this is like a major exception. And I'm not to say that I don't like songs where they don't sing the chorus, but just usually I would prefer it if they did. But yeah, this is just like perfect. Again, it's just that really emotionally charged singing, and it has such a groove. And I think this is the one that I replay the most, the one I listen to the most, the one I find myself singing to myself when I'm driving in the car or just doing whatever, you know, I'll start singing it to myself. I think Save Me, it's had such, it's weird to me because I thought it feels like it came out a way longer time ago than when it did. And it just feels like it's always been there. I mean, I can't really describe it any other way. I just really love that song. So Save Me is just beautiful. Not as beautiful as number 2. Just in my opinion, Spring Day. When Spring Day first came out, I was like, oh my god, this fucking song. This is the one. This is why I love BTS. It was just everything in one video. Besides the weird not giving J-Hope lines thing, and having Jungkook sing majority of the song, I think. If you look up the line distribution, which haven't done for a while, so I might just be misremembering. But I'm pretty sure Jungkook sings like a huge chunk of the song, and J-Hope gets like barely anything, if anything at all, which is really odd. But still, it's a really beautiful song. Sugar's rap in like the middle of it is like one of my favorite raps he's ever done. It's awesome. Again, this is like top tier music video as well. I love it. And the live performances of it are far better because they split Rap Monster's part in half, and they give some of it to J-Hope, and he starts the song, and this just, you know, it suits his voice perfect. I don't know why they just didn't do that in general, you know. It's so weird. Whatever, Big Hit is weird with their line distributions, but that's fine. They're getting better. So, number one, you've probably guessed it. You've probably guessed it by now. It is the song that got me into BTS. It's the song that I love the most out of the whole discography. I mean, even if I compare it to their side tracks, I think I just love the song the most, and it's I Need You. And when I first heard it, I was like, oh shit, this is what K-pop can be. I was like, this is why I love this fucking genre. Because, and just, I can't even express it properly. Like, it just sounds so good, and I still come back to it all the time, and it just lives in that part of when it come out. It just lives there in that style and that sound, and I just love revisiting it all the time. For me, I wouldn't say they peaked there, because obviously they're really growing as artists now and they're getting better, but this was just my perfect song, and it could be just looking back at nostalgia of why I like it the most. I might just be nostalgic for it, and I probably am, but to me, I Need You it's just my favorite. It's my favorite. I think it's their best title track. One of the best songs in K-pop for me. So, that was really my top 10. People will be pissy probably because I left some off, but honestly, I like majority of them. There's none that I'm like, ugh, I hate. Maybe no, there's ones I dislike, but there's none I absolutely hate. I'm not gonna say the one I don't like. I'm not gonna say them, but things change, and I revisit songs and hear them different. I listen to BTS quite a lot though, so again, when I made this list a while ago, it was different. It's funny seeing Fake Love just come out and go up to 7, and yeah. Tell me what your favourite title tracks are in the comments if you watch this. Thank you. Yeah. I'll be doing a 10 side tracks video at some point. Just whenever I get spare time and I can condense the 25 down to 10. So, yeah. Thanks.